Welcome to the Wiser Talk, produced by Wiser Software Solutions, the premier low-code company of India. Our host today is Abhinanda Ghosh, a veteran of the financial services sector in India with over 30 years of experience. He culminated his service career as the CFO, CIO, and CISO of a public sector general insurance company. Mr. Ghosh is a low-code evangelist and is presently an advisor to WiserGos.
Welcome back after the break to continue our tete-a-tete with Peter Chittaranjan. Peter, as you know, is the general manager of National Insurance Company Limited. He hails from the Northeast but has served in different critical regions of the country. He has handled almost all lines of business of the company, more than 200 of them. Apart from that, he has also discharged leadership roles in different other functions of the company, chiefly the Infotech department. At present, as general manager, Peter is posted in the head office of National Insurance Company at Kolkata, heading the IT and the R&D departments and spearheading critical corporate initiatives like the All India Auto Tie-Up initiative for the company. Peter is a man of many colors and many hobbies. He is a traveler, a photographer, a connoisseur of music. He indulges in philately and numismatics, and he was an in-demand cricketer. Peter, welcome back. We were talking about the past and the present of insurance, the industry and the landscape, and the foray of technology into insurance, the embracing of technology by insurance, and yes, as you said, technology touches almost every aspect of business operations, and much of the tedious processes have been automated. A lot of further things are being done by technology as well. We seem to look anywhere and there is technology. But I wonder, do you think that there are still some areas which are virtually virgin? And if not virgin of technology virgin, at least technology has, just about had a look in, and there's a lot more to do by technology in certain aspects of insurance. Do you think so?
Yes, Abhinanda. In spite of a sea change on the technology front in insurance companies, there are still several areas where a lot of work still needs to be done. And I can tell you, adoption of technology has not been uniform across companies.
Yeah.
And in this one aspect, new age companies who have just set up in the last maybe 5 to 10 years have a head start because they can straight away start with the latest tools which are available.
Yeah.
And this is where companies which are uh, coming from many decades in the past are at a slight disadvantage because of legacy systems and legacy software.
Correct.
But I will still tell you about some areas which come readily to mind, where there is still scope for insurance companies to adopt, to become even more cutting edge in the future.
Yeah.
So here I would say one thing which readily comes to mind is decision support systems. Like, for example, you want to introduce a particular policy in the country, or you have a particular policy in the country, and it is uniformly brought out across the country. But now you want to be in a state where, thanks to your decision support system, you have a software which tells you that this is a policy which you should be doing in a particular zone, and because it's very profitable for you,
Hmm.
and there is a lot of business coming in,
Hmm.
and cut back in some other zone where this policy is having huge what we call incurred claims ratio. So
Hmm.
it gives you that certain inputs where you can make a decision like that.
Hmm.
It can give you a decision where it studies the software studies your networking of officers and
Hmm.
tells you that in this particular area of the country you
Hmm.
are underrepresented or unrepresented,
Hmm.
and you need to open up an office, or you need to
Right.
have good distribution channels.
Hmm.
And in this area of your office, you are overrepresented. So you need to either merge or close down some offices.
Okay.
So one of the key decisions which an insurance company has to take at the beginning of a year is how much of the business which they're going to do through the course of the year
Hmm.
needs to be retained by within that company, and how
Hmm.
much needs to be ceded to reinsurance companies. And this
Hmm.
is a
Yes.
very critical decision based on which the the bottom line of that company at the end of the year will be
Hmm.
decided by this very critical decision which is
Hmm.
taken at the beginning of the year. For example, you have 100 rupees coming in from fire in from a factory.
Hmm.
In a factory, you may reinsure as much as 50 rupees and keep 50 rupees.
Hmm.
Now, in the same example, you take 100 rupees of a motor vehicle. In a
Hmm.
motor vehicle, you'll be able to keep 85 rupees and cede to reinsurance 15 rupees. So
Okay.
across our lines of business, for each line of business, for
Hmm.
each major policy that we take,
Hmm.
there are various reinsurance treaties which have to be entered right at the beginning of the year. And if you have a good decision support system, which
Hmm.
studies what has happened over the course of the last 3 to 5 years, you will be taking very effective decisions which will benefit you in the long run.
In
So
the long
decision
run, yes,
support
yes,
systems
yes,
definitely are required to help us make critical decisions, insurance companies. Now, the
yes.
next area which is going to come in a big way is artificial intelligence. And
Hmm.
by artificial intelligence, what I mean from an insurance company point of view is predicting trends. So,
Hmm.
studying, say, in crop insurance, you could study as much as 100 years of data to
Yeah.
predict what's going to happen over the next 5 years.
Hmm.
And I can tell you, crop insurance is an area which can make or break a company. If you
Yeah.
get into it without doing proper analysis,
Hmm.
proper actuarial study, you
Hmm.
can be having 400 crores of premium and 2,000 crores of loss. So
Yeah. So it
artificial
will wipe out
intelligence,
a company altogether.
it can. So artificial intelligence will enable you to take uh, information based decisions based on what is the prediction for, say, the next few years. And it can tell you that you do your crop insurance in these particular crops or
Hmm.
in these particular states and
Hmm.
in this particular proportion. So the
Hmm.
weather trends, basically, it's studying weather trends. And
Hmm.
that is a tool which is available, and many companies have adopted. Some are yet to adopt it at a more professional level.
Hmm.
Next comes a very important area, and in foreign countries, telematics. I'm talking about telematics.
Okay.
It's already come in a big way abroad. And I know for a fact that some companies in India have adopted telematics.
Hmm. What
In
what exactly is telematics, would you say?
Yeah, telematics is analyzing and studying certain data. Say, I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
Uh, for a motor insurance vehicle owner,
Hmm.
we uh, uh, we will give we will ask the insured to install a certain device. It's
Okay.
called OBD. It's installed into the USB port. Of
Okay.
course, to these vehicles, some of them already come with that inbuilt in
Hmm.
their vehicle itself. So
Hmm.
this is a device which is plugged, which looks at the driving pattern of a particular driver.
Oh, acha.
It analyzes how he accelerates, how he brakes, and then
Hmm.
there's a report which will be available to an insurance company at the time when he comes for a renewal. If we are satisfied with the report which is being drawn out from his driving habits, we will give him, for example, we can give him a discount for his good driving habits. So when he comes up for renewal of his motor insurance policy, we will give him a discount. Now, likewise,
Okay.
in health insurance, uh, we ask our insured to wear certain watches or install certain wellness apps in their smartphones. Now,
Okay.
what this will do is it will record your steps, for example, that you take in a particular day. We
Yeah,
will
I have
encourage
one myself. Yeah.
yeah, we will encourage all our customers to walk, say, a minimum of 6,000 steps, and it will give you reports. It will tell you how much water you have drunk, how many hours of sleep you have had, what is your
Okay.
heartbeat. And again, because of adopting some wellness programs which are to his benefit, and company would say this is a good risk for us from our point of view.
Oh,
So let us give him a policy which will be much cheaper than is available to the rest of the population who do not adopt this.
it's
So
almost looking like that instead of a generic kind of policy, are you hinting at a individualistic or personalized kind of policy?
yes, Avina. Now what happens is in insurance we base our rating uh, over thousands and lakhs of customers, and
Mm.
we give the unique, that same premium is given to XYZ. We are not differentiating between customers. Now what telematics is going to do in the future is to give individual rating and premium payment which has to be made by the customer, which is what the customer wants. Why should I, who drives my vehicle for 20 kilometers in a day, pay the same premium as someone who's driving it for 100 kilometers in a day? I'm just giving you a small example.
Correct. Yeah.
So in the future, the questions in a proposal form will be very different than what it is today. And each of us will get a rating which will be totally specific to the risks which I'm bringing in, and not
Mm.
based on any other information, which is till now been the factor for rating of insurance policy. So telematics is going to do that. Now, another area I will tell you where uh, there is a lot of scope, in fact,
Mm.
is what is called big data analytics.
Mm.
Our company, for example, we have data uh, of our customers which
Mm.
could date back to maybe 2002.
Mm.
And how have we leveraged this data to maybe cross sell and maybe upsell our products? I personally believe that there is a lot more scope to,
Mm.
improve the usage of the data we have and make it relevant to a customer. Now, what do we mean by selling, by talking about cross-selling and
Yeah.
upselling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cross-selling, say, for example, we have uh, insurance customers
Mm.
who actually also require health insurance, but we've
Mm.
never specifically targeted them for that health insurance. So when
Yeah.
they face an emergency, they find that they have a insurance for the vehicle, but they have no insurance for themselves. So if we
Yes.
had used that tool, we could have actually reached out to
Mm.
all our customers who have insured only for uh,
Motor
motor
insurance.
insurance. Now, upselling is, say we already have a motor insurance policy,
Mm.
but we have some add-on covers like zero
Mm.
depreciation,
Mm.
or loss of consumables, loss of
Mm.
documents, or any other. We have about 8 add-on covers. So he's just taken a basic cover. We
Mm.
now have an opportunity to upsell some add-on covers, which may actually be as per his requirement. So
Mm.
this is another opportunity which is lost if you're not using big data analytics. And of course,
Yes.
big data analytics is not just for only the customer, it's also for ourselves and
Mm.
as a company. So big data is playing a major role in getting a 360-degree insight
Mm.
into customer behavior and preferences.
So basically, then the big data analytics is also tied to the decision support. that you were talking about, is it?
Yes, very true. In fact, this is the software which will enable us to take uh, decisions purely based on what is actually happening at the ground level. So
Right, right.
while in the past you may be just shooting in the dark while taking decisions of where to open an office or which policy you should be concentrating on, while here it is your data which is enabling you to back up your decisions. So
Mm,
there's a scientific basis to the decisions being taken and
yeah.
enabling corporate management to have a better vision for the long run. So
Mm,
big data does that. And
mm.
this another area, Abhinand, where uh, I think insurance companies have not really plowed a lot of investment into, and that is fraud analytics. You may be
Oh,
surprised that if I tell you that, and this is an international study, it's not just about Indian industry.
mm,
The leakage which happens in health insurance
mm.
is as much as 25%. And
25%.
25%. That is for every 4 rupees you're paying to paying out as claims, 1
Mm.
rupee is a leakage. And when you're talking about motor, the leakage could be as much as 10%. And
Oh,
you
wow.
see,
See, it's
when you
almost epic proportions.
it's epic, yes. And this is across the world. It's a phenomena which is there for
Mm,
insurance. It's one of the risks we have to face when we operate. And when I talk about health and motor, what is the reason I'm talking about these two particular sectors is because they give the industry in India 65% of the premium. So when I'm talking about leakage to that extent,
Oh,
we are talking
my
about
God.
tens of thousands of crores. It's tens of thousands of crores. So measures to control and mitigate frauds
Mm,
benefits the company and
mm,
customers by reducing premium rates. Now, let's give an example. If because of frauds, a
mm,
customer is paying 20,000 as
mm,
his premium, health insurance premium,
mm,
and I, as a company, take steps to mitigate or control those frauds. And
mm,
as a result, I'm able to bring down my premium to 16,000.
mm,
See, not only has it benefited the customer from 20,000 to 16,000,
mm.
I am now going to become, as a company, much more competitive.
Yeah,
So when
sure.
I am selling policy at 16,000 vis-a-vis 20, more
Mm,
business is going to come to me. So
yes.
it's really a
It's a
little bit
win-win
strange.
for everyone, it seems.
Yes, this will benefit everybody, uh,
Except the fraudsters, if I may.
except the fraudsters.
Except the
Except the
fraudsters.
fraudsters, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
I tell you, identifying fraudulent claims is often difficult.
mm,
And again, here predictive analysis is now in use, which uses a combination of rules, modeling, text mining,
mm,
database searches, and exception reporting. So this is
mm,
the technique used where we get a database and we
mm,
start studying it. But what happens in these cases is it's happening after a fraud takes place. You also need to study your data to prevent fraud. So
mm,
that is another area where, at the moment, insurance companies are doing analysis after a fraud takes place. We need to have systems in place which prevent a fraud. So blockchain technology is one area, adoption of the same. It's been very slow
but
across companies. And I
but
can
you
tell
know,
you,
I would like to have some understanding of,
yeah,
in a concrete, in a specific manner, like how would you prevent something which has not happened yet? I mean, like how do you detect something which has not happened yet? Like preventing means what? Before something has happened, you catch it.
yeah.
So, I mean, to me, it seems a bit of a puzzle and a gray area kind of thing.
It's
How would,
taking steps. It's using your software to tell you that, say, for example, a certain hospital,
yeah,
uh, the average claim being paid for cataract across hospitals in that city is
yeah,
25,000. But a
oh,
particular hospital is uh, paying maybe 50,000. I'm just giving an example, the average.
okay.
So what you can do right at the beginning of the year is
Mm,
to remove that hospital from your approved list of hospitals. I'm just giving a small example of
Okay.
how you can take a proactive measure in the coming year, maybe not in that year, in the coming year, like that. And with blockchain technology, also much can be gained by putting the necessary processes in place. So definitely, fraud analytics is an area where much can be done for an insurance company.
And needs to be done.
Needs to be done. I mean, it's being done in a very cursory way, and it's very difficult to convince the top management about money that needs to be put into this, for example.
At this point, Peter, let's take a break again, and we'll come back on the other side.